Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the second part of this video, the second step, which we will be discussing. So, we are discussing today the high level designing of a Google Drive or a Dropbox. So, let's look into the second step, that is the high level design. So, instead of going into the theoretical, we will be looking using a diagram which in itself speaks a lot. So, we will be looking into or discussing rather each individual components using this flow diagram, how things flow and how when a file is uploaded or downloaded and everything else. So first step is like the user. So first is the user. So user, he or she uploads a file or maybe downloads a file. Then we have this block servers. So the what is the purpose of block servers? So block servers are divide the files into blocks. So the block servers divide the file into multiple blocks. Each of the blocks are being hashed, and they are stored in the and their hashes are stored in the metadata database, which we see here. So this is the cloud storage. Cloud storage is actually the place where the physical files are actually stored. This is and the cold storage. So this is another optimization on the storage. So like some of the files are not used or not retrieved in a long time, and they are stored here. Next, we have the load balancer. So the work of the load balancer is to evenly distribute the requests to the API server, to bring down API server if any one of the server is down, and to handle the request and to distribute the requests evenly among the servers. Then we have the API server. So the work of the API server is like used for user authentication, file metadata update, like what is the file size, where is it located in the cloud storage, and all those information, user info update, and all those things are stored is the functioning of API server, and all these things are stored in the metadata database. So mind you, the uploading of the file is not being handled by the API server. It is being handled by these block servers, and they in turn notify the API server about the location where they are being uploaded. So in the metadata database, we have the file location which is being uploaded in the cloud storage, not the exact actual file. And the final thing is like the notification service. So this is being used, so if someone modifies or edits a file or uploads a file and shares with his or her friend, then the friend is notified regarding the updation or the modification of the file. So this actually works using a publisher subscriber model. And then we have the offline backup queue, so stores info of changes when the client is actually offline, and so the info is stored here. Whenever the friend comes online, he or she is informed in about these changes. So these are the overall high level designing or high level discussion which we had about the components. So overall 9 components which we have in, and which we are going to look into a bit of details in the next section when we discuss about the deep level designing. So along with this, we also have some 10 API calls which we make to the API server in order to perform certain operations. So we will be discussing some of them, a few, like the upload API call. So here you can see so how it is being done. So this is the API which we do. So with the upload request, and the upload type is like resumable for large files. So in the parameters which we send is the upload type. Here it is resumable or simple. There are two types, and the data which we actually want to upload. The second thing is the download API call. So if you want to download a file or to fetch the modified versions of the file, so we have this download API call along with the parameters of like the download file path and the path we give of this file which we want to download actually. And then we have the get the file revision API call. So this is to get the file revisions which we discussed in the functional requirements, if you remember. So this is the API call list revisions, and we also give a limit to how many revisions which we want of that particular file, and also the path to file which we want to get the revision history and the limit. So these are some of the API calls which we make in order to fetch a file or to download a file or to get the file revisions. So let's dive into deep of some of the components in the next video. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.